So the saga of the Loudoun County Public Schools rape situation continues. So there was an announcement today that Mark Smith, who was what was he, chief of staff, Loudoun County Public Schools, got axed, right, because of some Title IX violations, or um, he was a scapegoat, really. I think he had something to do with it. He probably deserved to go, but it's not enough, right? What I don't think people understand is while AG Mira's is going to open up his investigation to the school board, that's not where it should end, right? They're the face. What you need to look at is below the face, right? So this woman behind me picking her nose looks like it. She's actually signaling is what this is, and it's in a video, and you can tell. Her name is Asia Jones. Asia Jones is the assistant superintendent to Mr. What is he? Cisgen white male Scott Ziegler. And she's got an interesting background. Okay. Now, nobody's talking about her, but people should be talking about her. She actually was a expert. She was an expert consultant with an organization by the name of where are we? National School Safety and Security Services. Okay, now it sounds great, right? And I'm sure they do some decent things. But one of the things that they're really big on is restorative justice. And one of the things she was an expert in is improving community perception of safety. Now, let's go back to May 28th and think of how this whole thing rolled out. The school board had been lying since May 28th, right? Until they got busted with Luke Rosiak's article. And there's receipts all over the place. Jeff Morris was one of the first people to come out. Side note, I think maybe Brenda Sheridan should come back. At least we know what not to expect. I think Jeff Morris is a disgraceful rhino. That's another subject. But he was one of the first people, as was Atusa Reeser. I think Medevi, Corbo, whatever. But I don't think these people, they didn't do this on their own. I don't think they were prepared for what had happened, even though they were alerted to it on May 28th. I don't think they were. You notice how well choreographed it was. You notice how their language was all the same. It was all in sync. Denial, denial, denial. The wording was almost identical. Now, I know these sort of things kind of happen and transcend with organizations when something bad happens. But you can't help, you can't ignore the fact that the second highest person over there reporting directly under Scott Ziegler, I'm sorry, cisgen white male Scott Ziegler, is Asia Jones, and her history of being an expert consultant in affairs of sort of distracting, dissuading, and what's the best way to put it? Confusing the public, right? The whole intent is to keep calm by improving community perceptions of safety. Just think about those words for a second. Improving community perceptions of safety. That's kind of big as far as I'm concerned. And it dovetails right into all the responses and how the responses were and how they are crafted from these school board members. This woman right here needs to be investigated as well. Mark Smith should not be the only person who should be dropping, right? They all should be dropped. Don't misunderstand me. But people have to look below the school board level. Now, she's not often on the radar. She's in all these meetings, but you don't always see her. But I can promise you, she played a vital part in the communication and the messaging and the choreographing of everything that did not work. So it kind of tells me a couple of things. One, she was a lousy consultant. That's why she somehow managed to become an assistant superintendent, because if this is the results of her expertise, no wonder she doesn't work there anymore. But they had an internal resource with somebody that worked at an organization that specialized in this sort of thing. It's not going to stop with Asia, right? Ashley Ellis needs to be looked at very closely as well. So I hope AG Mieres looks at these people, not just the school board members, right? This is a very incestuous network. They're attached, right? They're attached with Buddha Bibarai, Michelle Thomas. This is all attached. These aren't necessarily all separate things. This is the syndicate. And the point of this video is just for people not to lose sight. But if you find anything on Asia Jones, let me know and we'll get it out there. It has to be factual, it has to be evidence, it has to be, proven. It can't be just rhetoric or opinions or anything like that. But we want the world to know about Asia Jones because she is a big part of this investigation. She should be. She's a big part of the cover up. That much I can promise you. So I hope people watch this and start thinking beyond just the school board. They're very relevant, but think beyond the school board because these people, this is wide and far. And Wade Byard hanging up on a reporter twice today when he asked him who the new chief of staff is going to be. I think Wade's feeling a lot of pressure on this as well. Shoes are going to start dropping here at some point, right? We got Mark Smith. Okay. I think he probably needed to go anyways, but he was a scapegoat, right? I think if they were going to let people go, it needed to be a group of people. But Ziegler's got a handsome salary, so it's not going to be him. Anyways, I hope you find this video somewhat interesting. I'll put the link into the YouTube post so you can look at some of the information on Asia Jones. But get this out there because Asia Jones is definitely connected to this.